Good morning. This is the Great Basin Fire Potential Briefing for Wednesday, June 3rd. As we take a look at our summary, we've had a big cool down with widespread rains last week across many areas, but now we are in the middle of a steady warming and drying trend. And we're going to have a couple of breezy to locally windy days over the next couple of days that will accelerate the drying of fuels to levels that'll be about a month ahead of schedule. Impact map shows some of these winds, gusts near 30 miles an hour, where you see the lighter orange in western areas today, a little bit on Thursday, and then a stronger wind event Friday into the weekend, especially coming in off the Sierra front. Could see gusts of 45 miles an hour there. There was some significant precipitation there 6 to 8 days ago, but that will be dried out a lot with these wind events. We've had no precip yesterday, and a lot of what you see here is over the past 7 days, and actually we had some more over the last 8 or 9 days. But you can see western Nevada, widespread half-inch to three-quarter-inch amounts. So the initial wind events will probably go more into drying than creating large fires, although with grasses you always have to keep that in mind. But you see other areas here across eastern Nevada, much of Utah, southern Idaho did stay dry. We're starting to see new fires pop up. Recent new fires in the red, recent fires in the yellow. These open circles were recent large fires. A lot of that occurred before the precipitation event over the weekend. The 3-month flash drought index continues to flash the most critical drought levels across southern and central areas. Our 10-hour fuels responding in a lot of those areas that did not see much in the way of rain over the past 7 days in southern areas and along the Utah-Nevada border, getting down into the mid single digits in some areas. Our ERC point map shows that ERC levels are on the rise, and some pockets here in the orange are popping up near the 90th percentile. This color scheme is a little different from last year, so make sure you use the key on the left. The orange is already in the 90th percentile. The clear colors are in the 80th to 90th percentile, so we're seeing a lot of fuels reaching above the 80th percentile, especially in the essential areas here along the Utah-Nevada border. Zeroing in on a couple of areas, the southern Sawtooth, where we do have one large fire there, no growth on it. We'll see fuels over the next, currently is in the 80th percentile, probably tickling the 90th percentile. This is a 7-day projection. And down in the Arizona Strip, a similar story, way above normal. Normal's in the gray, being about 4 weeks ahead of schedule. Let's look at the large-scale map, and for today, there is a weak front brushing northern areas with some clouds, but we have a drier air mass coming in today, and that'll cause some breezy conditions in western areas along with a dry air mass. And then we have high pressure kind of building in more off the Pacific with drier air Thursday and Friday, and with this low dropping down out of the Gulf of Alaska, this is going to accentuate the winds. And you can see the air mass quite dry ahead of it. So we do have some concerns right now where fuels aren't quite ready. Instead of issuing high risk, we issue moderate risk, which is this brown area, which says wind and humidity could be in critical levels. Fuels possibly not quite there. So for today, and especially on Friday in some of these areas, and some locally higher winds on Thursday, and you can see these winds here. On Wednesday, the dark greens to orange are gusts in the upper 20s to near 30. And you can see that both Wednesday, Thursday, and then Friday, a more widespread event. And some of these purples here are gusts well up into the mid-40s. And you can see the humidity bone dry across most of the Great Basin, anywhere from the mid to upper single digits to the low teens up north. So the humidity and wind will be there. It's just a question of the fuels. But again, along the Nevada-Utah border, it's been quite dry for a while. No precipitation for the next 3 days expected. Days 4 through 6 over the weekend. Saturday, that low is here, and the winds will really start picking up. There'll be some moisture increasing Sunday and Monday. We'll have to watch that. We do have high risk for Saturday. After a while, the fuels will dry out. Well, these areas didn't see much precipitation, so this will probably be the windy day. We see those winds here on Saturday's wind map, and some of those purples are gusts well up in the 40s. Humidity stays dry through the period. We'll have to watch Monday as well. The humidity still dry down south this next wind event, but day 6, day 7, things could change. No significant precipitation expected. And summing up the 7 days, Again, you see looking a little bit more summer-like as we're going into the weekend. Our high-risk day right now is Saturday. We may have to watch Sunday and Monday as well, depending on the timing of the computer models, but we definitely expect a significant drying of fuels and an increase in fire activity with this warmer, drier, and windier weather regime. 6 to 10 day outlook for June 8th through 12th, essentially the second week of June. Warmer than normal, especially across eastern area and central areas. Near normal precipitation. There's a broad area of above normal, and sometimes the models do this without really painting much precipitation. June doesn't normally get that much precipitation. This concludes our briefing. Have a great day.